Hey everybody, it's Judy Klock here at Stampin' with Craft. I can't even speak tonight. Stamping with Crafty Clock. And I'm coming to you today for another lesson at lunch. And we're continuing our watercoloring techniques in honor of World Watercolor Month. So let me go ahead and make my screen bigger here so you can see my desktop. There we go. And today we're going to work with our Fluid 100 watercolor paper and some plastic wrap. I'm going to show you how to create a watercolor background using our Stampin' pads and just some crumpled up plastic wrap. So I've got here our paper. This is one sheet cut in half, so it's 5 by 3.5. I'm going to use some petal pink. I'm going to use some fresh freesia. Turn this way. And I'm going to use some Pool Party. All right. So the first thing I want to do is I want to take one of our spritzers and I want to spritz this paper really well. I want to get it really, I'm going to move these back just a little bit. And I'm going to really give this a couple of good squirts to really get that water on there. All right. I want to make sure it's nice and wet. I'm going to come back in with one of our water painters and just kind of push that water all around, make sure that it's all over our watercolor paper. All right. So now I'm going to just take one of my crumpled up pieces of plastic wrap, and I'm just going to dip it on my ink pad, and I'm going to stamp it on my paper. Doesn't matter how you do it, just as much as you want. I'm going to come back in with another piece of crumpled up. I'm going to go for our fresh freesia and just kind of stamp this on there. Get that in there. And then I'm going to come back in. I'm going to do the same with our petal pink. Okay, and again, you can put on as much or as little of any particular color that you want. Okay, I think that's good. Now I'm going to come back in and I'm going to spritz it again. Let me make sure I have the one that's full. Okay, I'm just going to kind of get those colors a little bit wet. And I'm going to try to pick this up. I'm going to see if I can get these to kind of run a little bit. Okay, we're going to kind of just let those kind of move around. Maybe a little bit more water. There we go. Now they're starting to run a little bit. Okay. So now we're going to let this sit over here to dry. Okay, I'm going to close up these inks just to be on the safe side. All right. There we go. Move those out of our way. Now I've got a piece here of our basic white, and I'm going to stamp. Well, let me just wipe up my area. Got a big silicone mat here to keep my workspace kind of clean. All right, so now I've got our piece of basic white. I've got our little ballerina hippo, and these are one of our celebration sets. You can get the hippos and the matching dies with a $50 order. So if you spend $100, you can get the hippo and the dies because you get one with each $50 purchase. And they're so cute. You're going to want these because they're just adorable. All right, so I'm going to come in. I've got our Granny Apple Green watercolor pencil. And we're going to color her tutu in with our watercolor pencil. Now, I'm not really like doing a bang up job. I'm just kind of just like coloring in. There's some white space because we're going to come back in with our blender pen. I'm going to do her little ballet shoes. There we go. We're going to come in with our blender pen. Okay, this has like a liquid in it, a fluid type in it. And we're just going to kind of smooth over those pencil lines. And you'll see that as we color it with our blender pen, it's going to fill in those white spaces. It's going to kind of get rid of those pencil lines. And it's going to give it a watercolor look. Okay, so there we go. So now we've got that. So now we've got her little tutu when her shoes are done. We're good. Let's come in here. I've got our basic gray. And I want to show you how to do like toning or like darker and lighter. So her little tummy here, it's going to be a light gray. So I'm going to just press lightly and just kind of color it in. Okay. I'm going to come over here in her arm. I'm going to do it much darker. I'm going to press much, much harder. And you'll see right away that it's coming in much darker. All right, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take our blender pen. Now, I want to make sure that I don't have any other color on there. So I'm just going to wipe the tip on a piece of scrap paper. I'm going to come in. I'm going to just color in her little tummy, just like that. Okay, and it's getting rid of those pencil lines, and it's still pretty dark. I mean, pretty light. Now I'm going to come in over here, and I'm going to do the same thing on her arm. All right, and I'm going to just kind of smooth it out, smooth out those pencil lines. Now, if I want to make this a little bit darker, like shadows, I can come in here. I still have some color from this on my tip, and I can just kind of like shadow it right there. Okay, maybe kind of even, if I have any more, pick up a little bit more color here and shadow it over there. Okay, so you're going to do that to her whole body. You're going to do her head, her big snoot, her legs. And when you're done, you're going to cut her out with our matching dies. Isn't that cute? We have a little umbrella here. Put together our whole card. You ready? So we've taken our watercolor piece. That's our background. Okay, I kind of put like a tightrope up there for her. We've added our little dancing hippo. We gave her a little umbrella and a flower for her hair. And we've got your always on point. So that's it. 2 different watercoloring techniques, one with things you probably already have in your house. I'm sure you have either plastic wrap or wax paper or tin foil or something in your house that you can use with this technique. If you don't have a spritzer, just wet that paper really well with a sponge or a rag or a paintbrush and just dab on that color and have fun with it. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just to have fun. And then if you have our watercolor pencils, you can either do it with like a watercolor painter, or you could do it with a small paintbrush and water. Or if you have our blender pens, they're great for working with our watercolor pencils. All right, so that's it. I know you're going to want to get these. So go ahead and place those orders. I'll put my link in the comments below, and you can go ahead and place your order and get the Hippest Hippos and the matching dies. $100 order. So that's it. Hippest Hippos. Get that free with a $50 order. If you get the hippo dies, free with a $50 order. Like I said, if you want to get both, you place a $100 order and you get these adorable hippos and matching dies. All right, everybody. That's it for me. Have a great week. I'll see you all next week. Bye.